Happy Friday, everybody. It's June, right? It's really hot outside out here on the East Coast. I have a special guest that's joining me today. Did you guys see our reel yesterday? The Danny and Dana collaboration is real and it's in full effect. So today we are coming at you today to talk to you a little bit about our collaboration and why we're doing it. So Dana is joining me now. I hope that I don't continue to say Danny because now that's in my head. Danny. That's in my head. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to try to transition to my headphones, which should have been done earlier. Um, it's okay.
There you go.
Newbies that are joining. Yeah, you guys can hear me? Okay, good. Thank you, girl. Curls are popping. I'm trying. All right, guys. Happy Friday. So much going on. I'm super excited about this conversation and this challenge that we have going on because it's something that's close to my heart. Okay, so first of all, for Dana's followers and anybody new that's watching this, I'm Danny Flynn, and I am a doTERRA wellness advocate. I've been with doTERRA now for almost 4 years. And so doTERRA is a company that produces, essential oils and lots of other wellness products, not just essential oils. Dana, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yes, my name is Dana Welfare, and I am a personal trainer and a nutrition coach, and I really help women lose fat, keep it off, feel more confident in their skin, and love the image in the mirror again.
Yeah, that's what we all want, right? Is to love what we see in the mirror. I feel like. So our partnership was something that I've been thinking about for a while, and then we started chatting on DM about that inspo for a reel, and I was like, oh, now's the time. Let's do it. So, kind of the context behind this, my personal journey. So, I started with doTERRA about four years ago, right as I was turning 40, and I was very pre 40, right? My 20s, my 30s, I was just very, vain, right? So I was very focused on weight, right? Very, very focused on weight. And it was affecting things like my confidence and all of that because I was putting on weight as I was getting older. But I was so focused on weight that a lot of other stuff kind of fell by the wayside. And so as I got older and a little bit more aware and in tune, my shift focused. Nope. What? My focus shift. What's going on today? I haven't eaten yet. That's what's going on. It's a long story. Okay. So I started to focus on just overall wellness and feeling good from the inside, right? And so the past, 3 years or so, that is what I have been focused on. I've been, trying to make sure that I have my body is supplemented and I have what I need. And now I feel great. I feel really good on the inside. And now it's time to focus on the outside. And I'm very focused now on trying to have the mirror reflect how I feel inside, right? And I deal with customers all the time. We talk to people all the time. And almost always we ask them usually like, what are your top 3 health concerns? And weight is almost always on the list. And what I find is that people come to like our workshops and they follow us and they're looking for the magic pill, right? They're looking for, you got an oil for weight. Like, I'm gonna take this oil and it's all gonna, yeah. I mean, like that would be ideal. Like we all want that.
Yeah.
That ain't how it works. So I wanted to create a program that would help people lose weight, do what they want to do, but also help them incorporate these habits, these healthy habits that are very much aligned with weight loss and weight management and just wellness in general. So I reached out to Dana and I'm like, here's what I'm thinking. And you came back with some interesting feedback, which has led to kind of what we created. So I want maybe you can share your journey and how you got started, because this is still relatively new, a couple years in, right, for you?
Yeah. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
I was very active and athletic as a kid, and so my weight wasn't really an issue. But as I had babies,
Mhm.
and if you can relate, let me know. the weight just piled on. With my first pregnancy, I gained 75 pounds. I remember my husband saw a picture of me. He didn't know it was me. He was like, "Oh, who's this?" And I cracked up. I thought it was hilarious because if you know him, he's a jokester. He wasn't joking. He was like, "Who is it?" I don't know. And I'm like, that was me at like, 8.5 months pregnant for the first
Wow.
pregnancy. And he looked, he's like, no. I'm like, yes, I can't believe like he didn't see it because, we both gained the weight together. But anyhow, so between pregnancies, I found it harder and harder to lose the weight.
Mm.
And then, I just tried everything. But, after my last pregnancy, I tried all the things. I tried running. I ran a marathon. Guys, I gained a pound running a marathon. Training, literally, when you train for a marathon, you are running pretty much half marathons every weekend until, the day, the big day.
Right.
And yeah, didn't didn't lose a
It
pound.
was
So
me.
then a doctor said that I was what they would call healthy obese. And that kind of gave me licensure to say, okay, forget it. I'm just going to embrace who I am.
Mm.
And then I thought about it and I said, until I'm like unhealthy obese, I guess. Like what?
Right,
What do
right.
we do?
What does that even
And yeah,
mean?
and so, to knock a lot off the story, I ended up finding macro tracking, and it was the best thing ever. It allowed me to not have to restrict, and which is what, everything else was teaching, restriction,
Hmm.
restriction, restriction. And I'm like, oh, I can eat the foods that I want. If you ever got a meal plan, ethnic food, you won't find it now.
Hmm.
So I'm like, how
Hmm.
can I eat these foods? And I can eat that. I don't have to restrict anything. And I thought, you know what? I want to teach this. Like, people need to know about evidence-based nutrition.
Hmm.
And I got into it and decided to make a business, and here we are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been following your journey, and I have still have lots of questions. They might come out here, but we're gonna try to keep this short and sweet, y'all. Okay, so tell us. So you do education, right? So what is it that you offer in addition to, just kind of educating people on this?
Yeah, so my signature offer is a group coaching program, and I actually am finishing up the last few weeks of the most recent round, and I'm super excited to offer this hybrid of a 16-week program. Because what I found is at 8 weeks, you're just barely scratching the surface.
Right.
You are
Hmm.
finally like getting it and running with it.
Hmm.
And so I am now going to be debuting later this summer a new 16-week program that is a hybrid of one-on-one. So it's very customizable, but also offering a group coaching. And we really focus on that customized nutrition, strength training, which I am a huge advocate for. Not enough
Yeah.
women are strength training. They are
Hmm.
being cardio bunnies, and that is not the way to hit your goal, okay?
Hmm.
Um, and then mindset, really this idea of just mastering the mental, the things like how you
Hmm.
said you were so scale focused, you would just get on the scale, and that might just really dictate the language you use with yourself
Hmm.
and the decisions that you're making. And so I think that is like the hidden gem in this
Hmm.
program. And so that's really what I offer. I teach you how to run, I teach you how to eat, I teach you how to move and how to work out, and I teach you how to master your mind.
I love it. I love it. Speaking to my soul over here today on a Friday. I'm
Yeah, and
gonna.
so it's a digital course along with a live coaching.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I was in a group chat this morning with some friends, and everybody, we're all there. We're all in different phases in life, and none of us have kids, and we're like, somebody just commented, I ain't got no kids, and I'm still packing up the past. I'm like, I know how that goes, sis. So there's a way to do this in a healthy way. There's a way to do this where we're not like um, speaking badly of ourselves and feeling badly of ourselves, because it is a journey. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight, and that's not what this challenge is offering. We're not we don't offer a pill that's just going to just magically make fat melt off, right? Or no,
Right.
it is a combined thing. So one of the things that came up in our conversation, so I'm like, I want to put together a package, some oils, some supplements, some things that would really help support people who are looking for additional support, right, in this process. And so that's when you and I got to talking about, some of the things that actually, and this, I don't think people realize this, but there are a few things that actually hinder weight loss that maybe don't have to do with what you put in your mouth, or what you put, or how active you are. So do you want to kind of hit some of those things?
Yeah, when we chatted, one of the first things that came up was sleep, sleep, rest, recovery, those sort of things. And
Mm-hmm.
people don't realize that the lack of sleep is
Mm-hmm.
driving cravings. It's driving so many of the things that they want to stop. Why is it that I know I want to do this, yet I'm doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't realize how much sleep has to do with that. Also with stress relief. Stress
Mm-hmm.
relief is huge. I mean, we are all under some level of stress. Okay,
Right.
even working out is a stress. So not all
Mm-hmm.
stress is bad, but
Mm-hmm.
there is such a level of stress that we are dealing with. And so self-care is something that is so important. And some
Mm-hmm.
people really don't know how to manage
Mm-hmm.
that stress, and they need to learn ways on
Absolutely.
how to do that. So those are like two of the things that sort of came up, and you were like, oh,
Yeah.
and then there's some basics. I mean, if you follow my content at all, you hear me preaching about protein all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times we find when people come into my program and I see some of the initial feedback they give me on how they were eating, they're just not eating enough protein.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many beautiful things that come with having adequate amount of protein in your diet.
Mm-hmm.
And most people realize, yeah, we need to add some fruits and veggies,
Mm-hmm.
into our plethora of food. But many times they can get lost in the shuffle, or people don't even know how to cook, right? They're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's nasty. And then they have it your way. And then they're like, oh, wow, I
It
can
can
eat
actually be
this.
good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we can
Mm-hmm.
actually enjoy it, because the goal is to create a plan that is enjoyable,
Right.
sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
and effective,
Right.
right? And so we don't want to be white knuckling through the
Mm-hmm.
through the process.
Right.
So those
Because
are
it's
just a
not.
few of the things.
Yeah, I love it. Is because it's not sustainable. I think you had posted a couple weeks ago that you guys were on vacation, and you're like, for sometimes people feel like they go on vacation and they feel like they're off track. But what if vacation and weekend getaways were part of the track? And that spoke to me, because I always feel like, okay, when I come back, I gotta like cleanse and do all this stuff, right? But no, if you account for those things and you learn a program that will allow you to live your life, enjoy your life, right? Um,
Right.
I want to have a glass of wine when I want to have a glass of wine, like, right? I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad about that. And so yeah. So listen. First of all, follow Dana. If you guys are not following Dana, follow Dana. If you're not following
Oh,
me, follow me.
yes, please
Because
do.
here's where the two align. So when she was talking, I was like, that's so interesting, because what she described is doTERRA's wellness pyramid, right? So if you've ever come to any of my workshops or hear me talk, there is a pyramid. There are things that we should be doing on a regular basis that have a direct effect on our overall wellness. And oils and supplements are at the top of the pyramid, right? The base of it is the food that we eat, right? It's giving our bodies the nutrients and the things that it needs so that it can function in every single way that it needs to function. Our bodies are driven by nutrition, so we gotta give it the nutrition that it needs. What I've also learned in this journey with doTERRA, because they're all about science, y'all. I mean, they will science you to death. And so one of the things that I've learned is that we're created, right? We're wonderfully made, right? And our
Mhm.
bodies have filtering organs. So when you have a diet that is mostly nutritious, then you can have the other stuff that you want, the sweets and the wine and things like that on occasion, because your body knows how to handle that. The problem is that the standard American diet, right? It's sad, and it's the opposite, right? We tend to fill ourselves up with processed food and lots of sugar, and that affects how our bodies function, right? And so then when we have now diseases and aches and pains, and we're not even sure where that came from. Today, Dana hit me up in my DM because I posted yesterday. I had all this like tension and stuff in my neck, and I had dairy last week, and my body's super sensitive to dairy. And she's like, "Did you know that there's a correlation between like neck pain and dairy?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't know it. I didn't know it." But it's all connected, guys. So at the base of that pyramid is our nutrition, the diet, the things that we choose to eat. Second to that is moving our bodies, right? We have to exercise. Our bodies were designed to move, so we got to move it. Next up is sleep, proper rest, and simultaneously proper stress management, right? Knowing how to get our bodies out of that cycle of like I call it a stress cycle, right? Learning how to manage that and supporting your body. This is where self-care comes in, right? So that we're resting well and we're managing the stress that is inevitable. And then, what's next is our toxic load. Being cognizant, y'all know, this is like the hill that I'll die on. The toxic load that we are exposed to is overwhelming. So being aware of that and reducing those toxins where and when we can. And then we have our supplementation, right? So when I was talking to Dana, like, what kinds of supplements do you think we should include in this? It's like, well, they're not going to work appropriately if people aren't doing the other things, right?
Right.
And so, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people want to just run and grab a supplement. Like you said, they want that pill, they want that oil. And it's like, you're not going to get around doing the work. The work has to happen. And so, we're like, hey, it's going to be a great idea to do this challenge to help people get motivated and to kind of just get started going in that right direction.
Yeah, for sure. And again, the mindset piece of it is part of it, like I was talking to someone yesterday about something completely different, and she related it to this. She's like, no, anything worth having is worth working for. If you put the work in, it'll work, right? So that's what we're hoping to provide here is some education, some motivation, some encouragement, some accountability. I know for me that I work so much better when there's someone that I'm accountable for.
And some prizes, don't forget.
Oh yeah, some prizes for our winner, an opportunity to kind of track what you're doing throughout the process. I think the beauty in combining what Dana offers versus what doTERRA offers is that doTERRA has a supplement or an oil in support of everything, right? So if diet needs work, we have proteins, we have greens that you can do quick on the go. If you're not sleeping well, we got a whole line of products that will put you to sleep. If you saw my story last night, lavender almost took me out last night before I was ready, right? So we'll have a combination of it all. And hopefully what you'll find in there is something that works for you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this challenge. It starts July 1st, okay? So you got a couple weeks, get your mind right. Go ahead and get your stuff ordered, get some meal planning, whatever you gotta do. Go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm looking at my notes here. We're gonna really focus on these foundations, the foundational elements of wellness that also equals weight loss, weight management, right? That first feature is diet. So we're going to focus on what we're eating, putting in our mouth, also exercise, moving our bodies, sleep, getting quality rest at night, stress management, toxic load, and supplementation. And so for those of you who join this, and also accountability, I missed that. So for those of you who join this challenge, you'll be given a tracker, and you'll be able to go in every day and tally points, right? Track points, tally points. Yeah. For what you do every day along those lines. We're going to give you some suggestions and some tips and tricks. We're going to give you a list of supplements and oils that will help you in those things. And at the end of this, whoever has the most points, now we do operate on an honor system here, y'all. Okay, don't be cheating. What we'll do is we will see whoever is the winner, right? And that person will be bestowed with some prizes. And I actually think the prizes, when Dana, I don't know if I said this to you, but we were talking about the prizes. When she said her prize, I was like, I want to win. I think it'll be good. And I'm excited. I think this is really what a lot of people need to kickstart a program, right? Because it's only gonna be 4 weeks. And you mentioned, what is it like? There's a saying, like, it takes 4 weeks for you to feel it. And then, like, what is that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but
You don't know.
I,
Okay. It's like
I
something
will
like,
get, if I try to say it, I will totally like get it
right,
wrong.
right, right. So it's something like it's 4 weeks for you to feel it, then like maybe 8 weeks for you to see it, and then like 16
12
weeks for
weeks
others,
or
12
yeah,
weeks, okay, for other people to see it. Whatever. It's a journey. It's a process, right?
that's
And
right.
yeah, our goal
Yeah,
is
and what
to,
I think what I loved too is the fact that people are always looking to be motivated.
mhm,
And if I'm real with you, usually motivation comes after action. Like motivation doesn't stick. But a nice little challenge is just sometimes the thing that someone needs to just start, to just take
right.
the first step. It's not even about getting all the points and doing all the things. It's,
Mhm,
what can I focus on this week or this month? What
mhm.
are maybe 2 or 3 things that I could focus on this month? Even if you were to focus on one thing this month
Absolutely.
that's in this challenge, you are going to be better for it at the end of the challenge.
100%. 100%. And I think this challenge is going to attract a lot of different type of people who
Mm-hmm.
maybe already have some good habits in their routine, and maybe they're just trying to stay consistent with it or add on new things, and people who don't have any of the habits that
Mm-hmm.
were listed. I mean, I know I definitely was one who had none of the habits that we've got listed here. And so yeah, I think you're right. I think there'd be some people that focus on one thing and some people that focus on many more. But at the end of this, you will be a different person. It takes 21 days to build a habit. And so what we're hoping is that you guys are able to walk out of this and be better, to be better for it. That's what we're
Yeah, and
hoping.
I'm going to add to that. That's
Yeah.
popular, this idea that it's 21 days.
Yeah.
But guys, it can be longer. And how many
Mhm.
of you have tried something for 21 days and it's like, okay,
Didn't stick,
that's
right?
not it.
Yeah.
So for each of us, that number is different,
Mm,
but consistency is key. And I promise you, if you start working on something consistently, it's not about all or nothing or perfection, but if you start working on something consistently, you're going to gain major progress.
yeah. I love it. Persistent consistence is what I like to say. Is what's needed. Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
tickled
me too.
pink. So if you are interested in learning the details of the challenge, then both Data and I have a link in our bios. You can fill out that little form so that we know you're interested and we kind of get an idea of where you are and what you hope to gain from the challenge. And in the next few days, early next week, you will receive an email that will have additional information to really explain to you what the challenge is and what you got to do. There's some things that you got to do, right? First, initially, to join our challenge. All right. So be on the lookout for that email. And I'm super excited. Oh, I didn't say this. We will, throughout the challenge, we'll be doing some education
Hmm.
and some motivation. And it'll also be a place for you guys to share how it's going for you. Right.
Hmm.
I think you're
Yeah.
gonna be able to learn a lot from each other.
Yes. And I will say, if my LinkedIn bio isn't working, DM me. I gotta take a look at that.
Yes, just let us know. DM, text, call, whatever. We'll get you guys set up and get you what you need to get started. We're super, super excited. Thanks to everybody who joined us. Any parting words, Dana?
Looking forward to meeting you guys. I think we're going to have a private Facebook group.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's going to be fun. We'll be going live in there throughout the week with some tidbits. And this is just a way for us to give back. We
yeah,
both have businesses, and, there's no purchase necessary to
absolutely.
join this challenge. But we are here and we want to help and we want to give back. And so this is our gift to y'all.
Yes, I love it. And by extension, a gift to ourselves because I definitely need the motivation and all the things. So thank you guys for joining. Thanks for your interest, and we'll see you July 1st, if not before. And let us know if you have any questions. All right. Have a happy
That's it.
Friday. All right. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.